And there you have it. Hearing those engines get fired up, we're going to do a couple pace laps here to get through the starting grid for tonight's event. So here we go. Starting on the front row, we have some top points drivers in the number 1 BMW of Sidney Megram. 2 is outside. We have the number 7 of your points leader, Andy Hurdle. Moving on now to row 2, where we have, again, another rookie here. It's another rookie and veteran kind of a thing going in within these rows. The number 3 Toyota of Dylan Baum, the Grand Prix of Alabama winner. And the number 97 Toyota of Ty Higginbottom. Moving on now to rounding at the top 5, we have the number 10 Rolls-Royce of Jason Butler, and to his outside, a fellow Canadian Motorsports veteran in the number 12. Let me make sure I have this correct here. That would be, yes, the Audi. I mean, the number 12 Audi. My memory sometimes sucks. Anyways, moving on. We have the number 32 of Charlie Sears, the winner of the Grand Prix of Long Beach, starting in 7th. And to his outside, we have a guy who's been very impressive so far here in this new season of darts, the number 9 BMW of Jose Mercado. And now here we are to round out the top 10. We have some rookies here. I mean, at least one to the network and then one to the series alone. The number 15 Toyota of Kyle Knoll. To his outside, the number 80 Chevrolet of Mark Ouellette. And now just outside the top 10, we have the number 99 of Jonathan Swainson, who is coming off again that podium finish back at Long Beach. So plenty of momentum there. To his outside, the number 12 Vespa, or to his outside, in 12th place, the number 67 Vespa, of Ivan Reynolds. Now we have the number 77 Chevrolet of Hunter Young, and to his outside, one of the Cudmores, the number 75 Ford of Darcy Cudmore. And then we have the other Cudmore right here, right behind him, in 15th, the number 2 Ford of Series Network founder Daniel Cudmore. And look at that, a familiar face to him on his outside, the number 64 Rolls-Royce of Darcy Ford. And then rounding out the field, 17 cars here at Texas Motor Speedway, it is the number 91 of Patrick Hernandez in the Subaru. That's what that would be. There we go. And with all that being said, that's your starting grid. I have absolutely no idea if we're going to be going green this time. Still waiting on Jordy here as well to join me here in the broadcast booth. So the pace car rolls off right here. Then we can set these guys off for some wild pack racing here at Texas Motor Speedway. No, it's not going to be this time around, so we're going to have to wait another lap just a little bit here. Might as well maybe take a look at some other little quick details here for tonight's race. We have partly cloudy skies here at Texas Motor Speedway. Air temperature 20 degrees Celsius, track temperature 22 degrees Celsius. Again, I'm not a perfect weather expert, but I imagine it's not too slick. We've seen slicker, especially at the previous road courses, and again with a lot of the NASCAR races where we were reaching almost 50 degrees Celsius. 36% humidity, 13 kilometer an hour wind speed, wind direction E. That would mean east. Other than that, not a whole lot to say here, as the field will come down the back straightaway one last time under the pace laps. And again, we'll get to go green in a race where, again, we're going to be getting a new winner. The AJ Knickel, the 2022 Dart Series champion, won that one last year, but this year we're going to get someone new. Does Dylan Baum get a second career victory? Maybe does Charlie Sears, or do we get someone new? Is it going to be someone new within the first 3 races here? Again, the first oval race of the season. This is going to be a true test of, it's basically a mixture of a couple different things. It's like there's endurance, there's patience, there's, quite frankly, making sure you don't make contact with someone else, especially tire-to-tire contact. We could very well see some big wrecks here tonight, maybe even see our first couple of cautions after the first 2 races went caution-free. So with all that being said, the pace car is going to come off, and here we go. It's time to go green flag racing here at the Texas Motor Speedway. There's the green flag. We're underway. Oh, we already got trouble in the back. That is absolutely not ideal. Caution out already, and this is going to be, this might cause some interesting discussions with some drivers. I don't know for sure what we're going to do here now. So I have no clue whether or not if we can even get a restart of what just happened there, or we might just have to keep going. I'm going to have to, quite frankly, ask someone about that, so just give me a second. So I'm not getting any word about what was up with what just happened right there, but I can only imagine we're just going to keep going because I don't think we even have the option of going back, but we're just going to have to take a look at what on earth just happened there. Quite frankly, not the start that we were expecting, nor that anyone was wanting at all. So we'll just see here from the dynamic TV view. Yeah, Andy Hurdle spun the tires down the start, and then it was just a chain reaction from there. Again, looking at the replay. That might have been maybe a gear situation right there, trying to shift up, and that didn't work. And then you can just see the carnage going on along the track from behind. Perhaps we'll take a look maybe here from the number 80 of Mark Ouellette. So again, it was a bit of a traffic jam going on, and then, yeah, one car goes down. I can't exactly tell who that was, and then just a chain reaction from there. I think... And if I look at the spotter grid here, I think that actually, I believe that would be the number 12 of Mike Marini, causing everyone to kind of pile in behind him. And then behind him, I guess this angle will definitely help. You can see Hurdle going down there. Don't know if that was spinning the tires or some gear situation. Then everyone just kind of piles in to that one. So everyone's stopping here on the back straightaway. I don't know exactly what's going on here. I guess you could call it a red flag. And it sounds like a familiar face has joined me here. So let's just get to him. Yeah, Jordy, you got a copy?
Yeah, I'm here. I just said Yokiero Taco Bell.
You just saw what...
I want Taco Bell.
You just saw what happened there, I imagine. The replay.
I caught the replay, yes.
Thoughts?
Well, I mean... I don't know if I jinxed it by showing up now, but... yeah, definitely not the ideal, where are we, lap 3? Yeah, not the ideal start. And yeah, for context, I'm literally just coming in from work and basically got straight onto the air, so I am catching up as we speak.
So yeah, that was right at the start. That's the best I can put it right there. We didn't manage to complete a whole lap or even get through the entire front straightaway right there, but yes, everyone that is... color commentator Jordy Carraher, he's been here since the very beginning. Of course, he's from the other side of the country right now in Alberta, Canada, of course. I can see in our little communication thing that we have going here, you're watching a familiar face.
Well, he's got to show up on camera, but yes.
Well, I mean, quite frankly, I could just make it as easy as this. Bingo.
Also that, yep.
Yes, this works. Now you see our faces here finally, and
well,
I guess
it gives us something to talk about during this red flag or whatever's going on. Or hey,
oh yeah, no, absolutely. We get a bit of a sneak peek of what's going on with Corbin here. This may or may not be very illegal here, the capturing of another stream going on. But anyways, yes, Jordy. So that thing I was getting at earlier in the race that I wanted to discuss with you was that where the heck is it? Yes, there it is. I already mentioned this, but I'm going to say it again. You know, it's 2 races in. We've seen multiple storylines taking shape in this second season of Dart. Race 1 in Alabama, pole sitter out on lap 1, early rookie versus veteran battle for the win, absolute domination for a while by Dylan Baum. Race 2 in Long Beach sees the top 2 finishers from Alabama crashing early, and then other rookies taking advantage of the top spots, with iRacing Pro License driver Charlie Sears keeping the rookie win streak alive. Almost set a Canadian Motorsports network record. It was like maybe, 10, 20, 30 seconds away from Andy Hurdle. Could have lapped the whole field. That's what the record would have been. Ty Higginbottom, of course, came close to that a couple years back in the NASCAR series, but fell just short of that as well. So, I don't know, second attempt by someone to lap the whole field, unsuccessful, but maybe we'll see a third time's the charm this season perhaps. But again, Jordy, 2 straight rookie wins, plenty of lap cars, and 4 drivers within a 6-point bubble for the Greg Moore Cup lead. And you squeeze those 3 headlines together heading into this race, or I guess is now the current race going on here tonight.
Yep.
We may very well see some more thrilling action, get some more interesting headlines, and I might as well even point out to you, Sini Mangrum and Andy Hurdle were the top 2 qualifiers for tonight's race, so there's another little additional detail in there. But yeah, everything I said there, give me your thoughts.
Okay, yeah, there's a lot to take in, and I think, in light of what you said about, us not pirating per se, but definitely showing another stream, probably not the best idea, so instead we'll revert to, something else.
Oh, I just switched scenes as soon as you did that. Oh, thank goodness.
I tried. But to get serious here for a moment, I think the fact that, again, we've had the 2 different winners, obviously, kind of varying ends of the spectrum here in terms of the overall results. And, that's produced a pretty tight field here so far. And you mentioned, Andy Hurdle on the front row. Am I still talking here, Riggs, or are you in the background?
Still have one.
I think Kyle Knoll had something too.
Yeah, mine isn't cleared yet.
Regan's working on it.
Well, I'm good, thank you.
Yep.
Apologies for that, everyone. We were just trying to clear some penalties right there. A little bit of issues going on as everyone was trying to sort things out after that crash that we had there on lap 1, or you could even argue not even on that. But yes, we're all good, Jordy. We kind of did miss the restart right there, but everything's all good.
Can Marini get a black flag clear?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're green. Oh, that looks like a little bit of behind the scenes there. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain, of course.
You can hear him.
Yes, indeed, everything's happening, because quite frankly, I've had to clear a couple of different penalties there, and I believe the only way I could really do it was on... Actually, never mind. I think I've had a button here this whole time, and I never noticed it. But anyways, we're just going to move on. Lap 11 of 150 here in the Texas Dart 188. After that early crash that we had, we have a couple cars laps down, including Mark Roulette, Hunter Young, and Charlie Sears. It looks like Sears... Unfortunately, the first DNF of the race because of what just happened. So again, that's going to be 2 DNFs within 3 races, and then of course the win back at Long Beach, so not ideal for the number 32. But right now, at the moment, C.D. Magrum, Ty Higginbottom, and Dylan Baum currently your podium drivers, and they are really going at it here, only separated by 0.2.
Yeah, and I mean, there's already a couple of seconds separation between that trio and Jose Mercado. They're a little bit further back, and again, at a track like Texas, a couple of seconds, it doesn't seem like a whole lot, but it is an eternity once you kind of get your distances and stuff sorted out. And yeah, the fact that these three are pulling away so quickly, look out.
Absolutely look out. Again, if we didn't have that crash there at the start, then I'd imagine we would have a lot more cars going at it here within a pack, but only 3 here thus far. Jose Mercado is 2.3 seconds back. Kyle Knoll at 7. Patrick Hernandez, Darcy Ford, Jason Butler, Andy Hurdle, and Daniel Cudmore rounding at the top 10. Right now, again, there's a couple of these guys I'd imagine may have damage from that incident that we just had. It looks like Jonathan Swainson and Ivan Reynolds are also going to join the DNF board here after that starting incident. Hunter Young on track 12 laps down, while Mark Roulette is currently in his pit box at 13. Not ideal, but right now it's just early on in this one. 3-car battle. As would you look at this, they're going to get side by side here for the lead. It's C.D. Magrum versus Ty Higginbottom. A couple of familiar faces from the NASCAR series is Dylan Baum.
Some lapping a car.
Yeah, someone's getting lapped. That would be Mike Marini. So, Magrum, Higginbottom, and Baum, your top 3.
Yeah, they're just trying to run away and hide here.
Basically. But yes, the number 1, again, currently tied for 3rd in points with Charlie Sears. Again, because of Sears' DNF, there's no doubt that Magrum's going to get a huge jump right there. We'll have to see how Andy Hurdle and Dylan Baum will end up finishing within this race. But of course, the number 1, GTR Motorsports BMW, sponsored by Nordic Aluminum, A1 Grassroots Lawn Maintenance, and Landscaping. Ty Higginbottom's United States Air Force Toyota for Tornado Alley E-Racing. And then, of course, Dylan Baum, SimLeaguePro.com Team 44 Racing Toyota. So far, we got 2 open wheel rookies going at it versus a veteran here. Has got a lot of close racing right here, about a 4-car pack almost. And I believe that's that's actually going to be, I believe, all 4 cars within between 5th and 8th. Meanwhile, Andy Hurdle's still all the way back here in the 9th position. But we're getting some pretty close action-packed racing as Patrick Hernandez tries to get past Kyle Knoll here on the high side. Jason Butler trying to follow in as well. Hernandez looks like he's going to squeeze in right behind Knoll once again, still trying to use the high side. My goodness, that's a lot of weaving right there. Especially, again, how the front stretch is aligned, especially, it's similar layouts to tracks like Atlanta Motor Speedway and Charlotte Motor Speedway, having to do those ever so slight turns on that kind of a quad oval layout. It can make things interesting, and if you're side by side with someone else, that's easy contact if you mess up those turns.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, with the IR-01, there is, your reaction time has to be absolutely on point to be able to kind of dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge to try and navigate your way around. But I have to say, I know the first couple of races weren't necessarily the most comfortable for him, but Patrick Hernandez there in 7th, just overtaken by Jason Butler, sure. But certainly in the early going feels much more at home on the ovals compared to the road course to start at Barber, and of course the street circuit last week at Long Beach. So Hernandez finding something here potentially. We'll see how this shakes out over the course of the evening.
Oh, I think there might have been a loose moment there from the 15 coming off of turn 4 as Jason Butler's going to try to take advantage here on the high side. Again, that inside line seems to be ever so slightly better here so far early in this one. But a lot of close racing here again between Knoll, Butler, Hernandez, Darcy Ford trying to get into this battle here as well.
Oh, man.
And you got to know here too as well, with these speeds that these cars go at, you could go at a near maximum 240 miles per hour if you're able to manage. And would you look at that, Jason Butler is now going to enter the top 5. Kyle Knoll dropping back to 6. Patrick Hernandez is going to look to take advantage on the high side. He'll dip back down low. The top three still kind of keeping themselves a little bit more at peace. No one really going for much battling. It just seems like it's kind of almost like tandem drafting or something like that you'd see at a super speedway. As Kyle Knoll looks to jump ahead of Jason Butler here once again, as Darcy Ford has moved his way up past Patrick Hernandez. He's going to look to try and get past the familiar face in Jason Butler. So some close racing here for the top five, the bottom of the top five.
Indeed so, and again, the fact that these four are racing and you got the top three kind of in their own world. Poor Jose Mercado is kind of in no man's land here, running a very quiet fourth place, it has to be said, in the early going.
Yeah, very quiet place, but it's also, you can certainly say that he's definitely at peace there with, again, this kind of a four-car pack going at here, as now the order is going to be Knoll, Ford, Butler, and Hernandez, as they have ever so slightly begun to separate now. Looking at some of these little chats that we're seeing here behind the scenes of what's going on with certain drivers, Ivan Reynolds was unfortunately disqualified for a black flag because he passed the pace car that wasn't even there. Mark Ouellette with 20 minutes of repairs. And,
still not the record.
Yeah, and Jonathan Swainson sound like the Rookie of the Year charge may not be looking as good now, but again, it's still early in the season, so again, you never know what may happen. As wow, Jason Butler getting in real close as everyone, again, separated for a little bit, but then they just got right back together. Kind of reminds me of what we've seen at the NASCAR Next Gens at the super speedways in real life, where again, cars might be like single file for a while or whatever, but with some time, whatever lane that is having the disadvantage will just catch right the heck up. And this is kind of a pattern we also see within real life American open wheel racing. Cars will separate for some time and then eventually close back together. As wow, I think Kyle Knoll had another moment there off of turn 4 as Jason Butler looks to retake the 5th position again. And I'm looking at the timing screen and I'm just waiting for something to happen with this top 3. They still haven't moved and it looks like they're still remaining at the gaps that they've been remaining at this whole time so far. But I'm just waiting for something to happen.
Yeah, and I think that another interesting component to all this is, like, we don't really talk about it as much because he more or less drives for DCR, but I believe CD Mangrum may also have some Sim League Pro ties as well. So if he and Dylan Baum can potentially workshop something to get a 1-2 past Ty Higginbotham, there, of course, another former Mangrum teammate in NASCAR Season 3. As, yeah, guys are just ducking and diving all over the place here. Man, oh man. The only thing going faster than the cars here, like, these laps are absolutely peeling away here.
Indeed they are, and we saw Patrick Hernandez giving his shot up there in the 5th position, but now it's just right back to Kyle Knoll as per usual. Top 3 still doing their good old thing of, if you can call 3 cars tandem drafting, then sure. Jose
Trio
Mercado.
drafting?
Huh?
Trio drafting since
sure,
there's 3? I don't know.
Sure, we can call it that. That's fair enough. Jose Mercado's still in no man's land. Still at peace. And then these guys are just doing complete anarchy, and it wouldn't surprise me if at one point they wanted to try the Kenny Brack experience.
Well, kind of dark, but that's unfortunate. But no, I was just about to go ahead and compliment the GTR boys on the cotton candy liveries we're seeing here tonight. As if I wasn't hungry enough.
Oh yeah, no, for sure.
I mean, maybe a Texas State Fair thing. I don't know.
There we go. I think that's much better. Look at that close racing between Kyle Knoll and Jason Butler through turns 3 and 4. I'm surprised again. Wouldn't surprise me at some point if maybe something happened with the 15. We saw how aggressive he was back in Season 4 of NASCAR, and it did sometimes lead to some certain moments, but he's holding on so far. Wow, are we almost getting 3 wide here as Jason Butler had to go up the track a little bit right there. Hernandez trying to make something happen behind them. He gets in the grass a little bit there too. I kind of wish this was maybe for the lead.
I was going to say the fact that, and I don't want to jinx this, but the fact that we've stayed kind of in the same direction with all these 4, Man, oh man, what a crazy kind of roller coaster this has been here over the last
Whoa, Darcy
10
Ford,
to
I
15
think.
laps. Jeez, man.
Darcy Ford, I think, also had a moment there, too. My gosh.
Yikes, and now they're coming up on a lap car. I think that's Marini, maybe.
No, that would not be Marini. Someone now gone there. Anyways.
Yeah, there was a fifth car there.
So again, CD Magram still leading the way by 2/10 there. Again, it's just the same distance between those guys pretty much. And then, honestly, at this point, we can just keep the cameras on these guys because they just keep flipping back and forth here on lap 40 of 150 here in the second annual Texas Dart 188. So, that'd be 14 cars remaining in this one with 3 out. Again, Charlie Sears, I believe, is due to damage, and then Ivan Reynolds and Jonathan Swainson had to deal with some unfortunate black flag issues.
Yeah, and then you referenced Mark Ouellette trying to work his way out after some lengthy repairs, but officially listed as 16th at the moment.
Wow, Jason Butler with incredible save. No, he's going to go down pit road. And into the pit wall.
It felt like a matter of time before something happened, didn't it? There was only so long that those four could keep going.
Oh, and how tragic is it that it has to be him? So we're going to have to take a look at that one for sure.
Yeah, it didn't look like there was any like inherent contact. Yeah, just kind of got below the apron. Unless he kind of got net coated, I'm not sure, but yeah, otherwise that one's self-inflicted, it looks like.
No, I don't want to face angle. There we go. I think this will work.
Yeah, I can see he dips below the white line. Instantly starts to wobble.
Yeah, I'd imagine that's just a loose moment.
And I mean, ultimately that's what did him in at that high speed.
It was netcode.
Okay.
I just got told that. And he's also done.
And that was my second suspicion there. But yeah, that's a crying shame there, really. Again, that battle between those four, it was so good in the early going. But yeah, it could well be the end of the night for the 10.
Oh no, he literally just told me it is, so.
Okay then. I wasn't sure if he was going to try and undergo some repairs or what that looked like.
So yeah, again, the top three continue to remain in their same positions as per usual, but now it's going to be a 3-car battle for the 5th position, as now it drops down to Noel, Ford, and Hernandez, so it's like one down. Who's next?
Well, I mean, they could always potentially swallow up Mercado there in no man's land.
Yes, there's that too.
Yeah, because I mean, it still looks like Andy Hurdle would have some, for lack of a better term, hurdles to climb to get to that trio. So it might be easier for those three to kind of work together to reel in 4th place Jose Mercado here.
I mean, yeah, Mercado has been slowly getting more and more behind the top 3. Now it's 7 seconds behind. At some point he was like 2, but now it's 7. So, again, 5th through 7th, kind of just reeling him in. At some point, Mercado will try to defend himself every way he possibly can. We can see here now on the ticker, only 8 cars remaining on the lead lap. And I guess one thing I might as well notably mention, yes, everyone, we still have that ticker issue when it comes to the tire compounds, but no, they're not on the softs. The way it goes with the oval races is you're only on the hard tire compound. You use all 3, soft, medium, hard, when it comes to the road courses and the street circuits, but on the ovals, it's all hard. Gray. Not the red softs, you see. It's the hard grays.
Right. Yes. So a little bit of dyslexia there with the ticker, it has to be said. But as long as we have a general explanation, then we should all be good. We should all be understanding here.
Yep, exactly. And I'd imagine here we got 3 Toyotas here in the top 5. They're going to continue trying to dominate the manufacturer. I don't know if I would say dominate, but they've been at the top of the manufacturer point standings the whole way through so far. Again, Ty Higginbottom, Dylan Baum, and Kyle Knoll. Yeah, still in the way. I mean, actually, I would not say domination. I'd just say, they've been leading 2 races in a row now. Chevrolet and Rolls-Royce, of course, moving their way up now as, unfortunately, all the Chevrolets, there's only, the only 3 in the that were in the field here tonight. All of them are out. Or actually, no, they're just in bad positions. Charlie Sears is out, but Hunter Young and Mark Ouellette are just laps down. Young is 13, and Mark Ouellette is 38 laps down. So Chevrolet is no doubt going to end up plummeting. And again, it's really kind of just going off the fact that Chevrolet really only has Sears and then the other guys just based on how their performances have been so far. Not the most ideal. And then you get like Rolls-Royce with open-wheel veterans like Darcy Ford and Andy Hurdle. Again, good finishes, especially too with Andy Hurdle's consistency so far. And it looks as though
we got a new leader, folks.
Actually, no, we got pit stops.
Okay, that would explain that. So Higgy's staying out here.
Higginbottom is staying out. I don't know for sure if there's only going to be a 1 green flag window. I would imagine maybe just 1. We'll have to wait and see. But Magrum, Baum, Hernandez, and a Guinness World Record attempt by Jason Butler.
Yeah, it could well be.
Wow, Magrum and Baum really close coming off the pit road right there. Ever so slightly off in terms of the pit stop time differences there.
But notably, Baum leapfrogs Mangrum in the midst of all that.
And
because as you can see, Mangrum comes in first.
And then both cars taking all 4 tires and the fuel, of course. I guess Butler.
The edge of the line. I thought Baum might have leapfrogged Mangrum there, but it looks like Mangrum got the edge there. So I may. Oh, why is Mangrum coming in again? Penalty?
No. Mangrum is back on pit road. I wonder if he might have gotten a speeding penalty.
He may have. Yeah, I just saw the name pop up.
So yeah, again, the car's not lifting up or anything. So I imagine Mangrum got himself a speeding penalty of some sort. As Andy Hurdle was on pit road. It's now Ty Higginbottom, the leader now on pit road. You can see him driving down. Kyle Knoll also in the pit lane. Yeah, if I go on the replay, I think Hurdle was in. Yes, he was.
Yeah, and if we're basing kind of this window off of kind of the rest of the race, you'd have to think probably 1 more green flag pit window.
Perhaps maybe in the later laps of the race. As C.D. Mangrum now finally coming out of his pit stall. 42 seconds. And now he's 4 laps down.
I mean, I was going to say that's basically 2 laps right there. That pit stop, or 1.5. As we got more action on pit road.
So Darcy Ford making his way down, and so is Mike Marini. Marini 2 laps down. Darcy Ford was the leader. But now the leader is Daniel Cudmore, who is trying to put C.D. Mangrum now, or actually no, Mangrum was 4 laps down, but now he's 3, so I imagine he passed Daniel. So that actually may help him later if we do end up getting some shenanigans, depending on how the race goes. But so there's Darcy Ford on pit road. Daniel Cudmore is now going to make his way down, as Dylan Baum will take the lead from Cudmore here coming around. Higginbottom about 4 seconds behind him or so. So it looks like Baum and Higginbottom will be the top 2. Meanwhile, C.D. Mangrum at 3 laps down after that penalty.
Yeah, it looks like we got our full cycle here, Reegs. And again, Baum with a relatively quick pit stop, and obviously, following all the pit row procedures certainly helped his cause here, as we'll see where the black and white deuce comes out.
Indeed, so the number 2 Winston Racing Group Ford, sponsored by Alpha Flow Racing, Archie Design, Cudmore Design, and Darcy Allen PR. 10-second pit stop time, I believe that's what I saw there. So he'll come out 1 lap down in the 8th position. Dylan Baum leading the way by about 4 seconds over Ty Higginbottom. Jose Mercado quietly in the 3rd position. 9 seconds behind the leader. So again, 6 cars on the lead lap. Again, when we look at the ticker, there's like 1 lap, 3, 5, 8, 12, 23, and then it just gets even more extensive. And yeah, and even somehow, Mark Ouellette, 37 laps down, still racing in this one. Jason Butler only here just to save the replay, but I guess might as well also try and go for a world record, because why the heck not? Hunter Young now coming down pit road, 12 laps down. Darcy Cudmore, there's at 8. Marini at 6. He's on pit road for an extensive period of time.
Yeah, was he, obviously I got here a little bit after everything happened live, but was he kind of caught up in those early shenanigans I was seeing as well?
Trying to see if maybe something did. No. Looks like nothing happened. Interesting.
Yeah, definitely a much longer stop than perhaps one would expect.
And I can still see that you're, I imagine on one screen, one monitor or something, you're still watching the man Corbin McCauley going at it in his eNASCAR College iRacing Series race. How's he doing so far?
I just saw him. They had a caution about at the halfway points. We know he started toward the back of the field. He is currently running P30.
That's better than last.
It is, and he had said that it was him forgetting or not realizing that it was 2 qualifying laps instead of 1 that had him starting at the back. So, to climb through a rather elite college field, it's an interesting thing to keep an eye on.
For sure, and I mean that's quite frankly the biggest stage that the biggest stage has ever been on for sim racing. Of course, years with us and over a decade long on iRacing. Trying to progress his way up to perhaps maybe a look in the eNASCAR Coca-Cola iRacing series, of course. Trying to get his name out a little bit there with the college series, so not too shabby. Again, what is it? The only Canadian in the field, I believe?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's even a milestone right there in itself. It's the only Canadian in the field, and they're from PEI. They're from the Maritimes. That's that's something that's usually completely unheard of.
Very much so, and I mean, it speaks obviously to the level of talent the man's got, but obviously that doesn't take away from the current talent on the current race that we're watching. So let's pop back there where it looks like, Dylan Baum's still got himself a bit of a gap.
So yeah, the number 3 looking to be en route to his 2nd career victory within the Canadian Motorsports Network Dart Series. 2nd victory here in Season 2 after winning the season opening Grand Prix of Alabama. Again with, 35, 40 laps or something leading. Absolute domination by the 3. Actually, originally though, again, it would have been Charlie Sears and Corbin McCauley. And then, of course, Sears crashes, turn 1, and then for about maybe 10 laps or so, Baum and Corbin McCauley absolutely going at it for the race lead. A couple mistakes by the number 17 ended up pretty much solidifying the number 3 being the class of the field for the remainder of the race and getting the job done. But then remember, last week at the Grand Prix of Long Beach, he crashed early, and despite that, he's still up in the points. He's still 2nd. Of course, 1 point above the 2A tie for 3rd between Magram and Sears. But again, only a couple points behind Andy Hurdle. Hurdle currently sitting in the 7th position, so this could be a very interesting situation we see for the points lead between Hurdle and Baum. Again, if both drivers can hang on to the end.
Yeah, and I mean, Baum's point total obviously boosted from also leading the most laps, and there was one other bonus from that Barber race as well that I think put him on 50 after that night. 40 for the win, but then he picked up another, I think even another 13. I've got Sim Racer Hub up. Let me see what I can find here.
Well, I mean, yeah, there was the 50 points, and then you got the extra 3 for leading one or more, and then leading the most. So you do.
Oh,
get
okay,
those
so
bonuses.
it's 50 for the base win. Okay, so I had
Yeah.
that messed up. I had it confused with NASCAR.
No, it's all good. But anyways, talk about
We're
battles.
talking about American open wheel racing tonight.
Yes, we're talking about
Not that other one.
Yes, not that other one. But
No.
finally, we're back to a battle. It's not for the lead, but it's still a battle. Kyle Knoll, Jose Mercado, and Patrick Hernandez going at it here for the bottom of the podium. So Mercado is no longer in no man's land. Now he's getting to battle with some guys here on lap 79 and 150. Yes, this race is winding down real quick, and it, again, kind of can't help it with the foul. My gosh, that was real quick.
Oh,
My
man.
gosh, the number 9 real aggressive and close in behind the rookie Kyle Knoll. But again, as I was saying, that wreck that we had at the very beginning of the race, and then a bunch of black flag and unfortunate black flag issues. This race has kind of played out the way it has now. But again, you never know if something happens and it does end up being a track, like a danger to everyone else on the track. Caution could be thrown.
Absolutely, but I mean, these guys are kind of throwing caution to the wind here right now. This is what, a 3... Yeah, that's not Darcy Ford in behind, but certainly, yeah, this 3-4-5 battle, I think this is going to be real fun.
Indeed, again, only 2.5 seconds separated between the two leaders in Baum and Higginbottom. And then Kyle Knoll, again, this pack almost 11 seconds behind. So if they want to make up any ground, they're going to have to figure it out. Mercado trying everything he can to try and get past Knoll. Again, the number 15, I was wondering if he would be the odd man out. Again, we saw Jason Butler out of the 4 guys in that battle earlier that, unfortunately, something had to happen, and it ended up being with him. And honestly, the way, like Kyle Knoll, being aggressive, having a couple loose moments here, and then you got a guy like Jose Mercado in behind him. You can see the 15 just real loose on that inside line. It's incredible how he's been able to keep his car going straight. But again, you got an aggressive driver in Jose Mercado right behind, who's been quietly doing well so far this season, and he wants to get himself a podium finish with all the recent momentum.
Yeah, and I mean, as you say, it's been a decent start here overall for the 9. Let me just kind of pull everything up again. A very kind of quiet 6th place finish, I believe, in the opener, and yeah, 9th place last week. So, he's getting the car to the line. He's navigating traffic or any kind of issues here in these first couple of weeks. And again, road courses and street circuits, they provide different challenges of their own, but knocking on the door of a podium here, again, just kind of trying everything he can think of to get past Kyle Knoll, but nothing doing right this second. But hey, a guy in clean air, like Mercado, he can be as fast as anybody here. So if he's able to find a way past Knoll, yeah, I could see him potentially making a late challenge. But again, this trio here will probably have to get some stuff done in order to reel in that lead duo, or else they risk, as you see here, Darcy Ford potentially joining it and making it a 4-car fight once again.
So only 6 cars now remaining on the lead lap. Darcy Ford, the last car on the lead lap. So again, just looking like another race where we're going to have only like 5 or less cars on the lead laps. So quite the trend that we're seeing here early in this second season of dart racing here. The first one on iRacing, of course. Of course, Jordy, I wasn't here for the first season. Was this a similar trend that you had to commentate through last season, or was it much different on the console side?
I'd have to think back a little bit, of course, if we're referencing Texas specifically, if I can even talk. It was Andy Hurdle who picked up the W last year, and I think it was, if I recall, he led a good chunk of that race. But yeah, once AJ Knickel got into a rhythm on a majority of the other tracks, he was basically running and hiding for a good number of the races back in season 1 of what's now known as the Dart Series. But I certainly don't remember, the battles a little further down the field being quite as intense or feeling like quite as high of stakes as they have, well, especially tonight.
Absolutely, and it's actually, seeing here, looks like Higginbottom is ever so slightly closing in on the number 3. It was about like 2.6 seconds of a gap, and now it's dropped down to about 2.2, 2.1-ish. So we're coming down to the wire here. It's going to be 60 laps to go in the Texas Dart 188. Plenty of time for things to shake up. There's Higginbottom, I believe, getting past the number 7 of Andy Hurdle, who was, again, the first car 1 lap down. But again, for someone like Hurdle, all that really matters, especially with how this season, how this race has been going. Just finish the race and just make sure you're still up there in the points, ready to continue battling someone like, again, Dylan Baum, who, again, has the trend, of course, of win and wreck, but it might be a win-wreck-win. 3 Ws.
Yeah, I mean, how many times have we said in order to finish first you got to finish, right? And yeah, it's been very much a boom or bust prospect for Dylan Baum and, in reverse, Charlie Sears, obviously. But, yeah, Baum, he's looking pretty solid here so far. Might get a little bit of a buffer in the form of the lapped car behind him that Ty Higginbotham will have to navigate here eventually. But, yeah, it still looks like that gap's coming down. Maybe Higgy's getting a bit of a draft off of our lapped car. Marini or Young? Can't quite tell.
That would be Marini.
Okay, that's what I thought, but I wasn't entirely sure. But, yeah, 2 guys from Ontario. Close enough. But I'm glad I got it right still.
So again, that lead gap is ever so slightly shrinking. Now it's gone down to 1.9, back to 2.
Yeah.
So it's just gonna be a game of patience. 1.7.
Yeah, and it looks like that was just kind of dipping out of the way there, as well as he's putting some laps in here tonight after what we said, roughly 20 minutes worth of repairs, I believe. Oh boy!
Yeah, I think there might have been a little bit of close action there with the lap car of Mark Roulette. Number 80 Koopa's Racing Chevrolet, sponsored by Little Res, Q Animal Shelter, and Sanctuary. Very nice looking car. Not ideal results to begin his Canadian Motorsports Network Dart Series career, but we all appreciate the positivity and enthusiasm that he brings. Great guy. That's all that matters.
Yeah, and I mean, he's a guy that's, he's shown a willingness to learn as well, because obviously, first few weeks, not only within the series, but I think you
Whoa!
Man.
Magram having a moment there up high through turns 3 and 4. You keep going.
Yeah, where was I? Something about him learning. Oh, yeah, the fact that I believe he was saying that he was more kind of acclimated on the NASCAR side of things as opposed to the American Open wheels. And, oh, man, that was nearly another moment for Magram.
No, that's a replay. That's a replay.
Oh, maybe you should have said something. But he's looking good here so far, but I mean, at least the emotions are in check here.
Yes.
Yeah, I think once Ouellette kind of comes around onto the NASCAR side of things for a potential Season 5,
Oh,
I imagine it's happening. Yikes.
Higginbottom
shut up now.
Yeah, Higginbottom caught up a lot quicker than I thought he was going to. Now they're just separated by a tenth. The 97 has caught up to the 3. And the 97 again looking for, I believe it be, let me remind myself.
I don't think he.
No, he does not have a win. No, okay. He finished 11th in points last season. It's more. I think I was more thinking Formula One success because he did have second in points in the All-Star Series, 3 wins, and of course a bunch of NASCAR wins. Nothing yet in Dart though.
No, indeed not. And yeah, if you go through the list here, you see a lot of, AJ Knickel, Michael Dimitrov grabbing one there, Gibby grabbing one, Jason Butler grabbing one as well. I think some of those might have been some preliminary testing sessions as well. But yeah, you see a lot of the 20, and I mean, that's another difference between project cars and the iRacing platform. Project cars, you were limited to the liveries that were in the game based on the real life schemes for the equivalent of what we call Dart. Because I can't say that other name.
Yeah, I just picture. Oh.
Yeah. Early-ish, maybe. I was thinking it would be like 115 to 120 based on the first run.
That was even though that was fast, that was a very smooth entry.
Yeah, and for a potential in-lap for Ty Higginbotham here, assuming he matches Dylan Baum's call here, I mean, yeah, it could prove to be very interesting. We'll see what the stop looks like. And there's Higginbotham in on cue.
So Higginbotham comes in behind him. So Kyle Knoll and Jose Mercado now are going to be the two guys battling for the lead. Baum with a 10.08. We're going to see what Higginbotham's time is going to be like.
Yeah, just pulling into that fourth stall here now. And I'd imagine roughly similar. Yeah, wow, 8.4.
Massive, or maybe not massive, but just it's a difference. 8.42 versus a 10.08. Very noticeable between the 97 and the 3.
I mean, it's a second and a half, of course.
But then again, though, we saw with Higginbotham and Baum how fast we saw them get together at their courses. Wow, Kyle Knoll, very aggressive there. Wow, Jose Mercado's going to go the inside, looking for the race lead, trying to read the lap, and never mind. That was completely, that was completely bad timing. As wow, Mercado even got close to that inside wall, the tire barrier there. But as I was saying, though, like we were watching the replay of CD Magram getting in the wall, and then out of nowhere, like the last time we saw it was maybe like 1.5 seconds or something separating the two, and then all of a sudden we go through the replay, we get back to live, and it's a tenth between them.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder if in getting past the lap car of Mike Marini, Higginbotham kind of maybe invoked a bit of a slingshot effect here, you might say.
Oh, Mercado was faster than both of them.
Well, I mean, a couple laps later, don't have to take as much fuel. I could see it.
Interesting if that does play into how this finish is going to go. But now, Darcy Ford's going to take a hold of the race lead and gain himself an extra point. 3 cars on the lead lap. It's him, Hurdle, and Daniel Cudmore. The good old, I guess you can say, Canadian Motorsports Network kind of veteran group, quote-unquote, in a way. I don't know how to describe it perfectly, but yes, familiar faces all around as Darcy Ford. The number 64 will make his way down on the pit road. So far, so good. Don't think anyone has any penalties or anything like that. I want to see the difference between the 3, 97, and the 9. The 3 entering turn 1, the 97. Okay. They're still close. About 2 seconds or so. Jose Mercado, on the other hand, still has some ground to gain, about 5 seconds back. of the 97. There's still time for things to shake up, as Daniel Cudmore is now going to take a hold here of the race lead. Darcy Ford with a time of 9.7. Andy Hurdle also making his way down pit road. So will Hunter Young.
Yeah, it looks like this is kind of that final green flag run we were talking about. I was thinking, based on when the kind of first round of stops happened, we were looking at about 115 to 120, but it started a few laps earlier than I anticipated. So we'll see how the tires should hang on pretty well through the rest of the way. Just maybe a little more margin for error than I had suspected.
So Daniel Cudmore going to, again, go off of, let me see how this works. It's just one little extra point for the number 2, who right now is sitting in a 3-way tie for 7th in points. So, and he's still going to come down pit road. But still, though, like guys like him and, there's also Darcy Ford, they're, again, 2 out of this battle. I would imagine Jose Mercado is going to be the one coming out of this with the advantage out of all of them. Because, again, Cudmore, whenever he goes to pit, probably going to be a lap down with Ford. I believe that's what it was. That's what the situation was beforehand. Dylan Baum and Higginbottom separate by about 2 seconds. 6 separating Higginbottom and Mercado. So it's probably just going to be another case of the 97 trying to catch up to the 3 and make up some form of an interesting battle here, as we will be winding down here to the end of this Texas Star 188 very, very soon, coming to 30 laps to go.
Yeah, I mean, really 1 lap fresher tires for Higginbotham. That's really not going to make a huge difference here in the long run, because, again, that's really 30 seconds in the difference between when Baum came in and, of course, Higginbotham coming in for his in lap. But, yeah, ultimately it seems like coming in early has paid dividends here for the 3, as, again, he's looking to double up on his victories here, as it looks like, looks like one of the GTR guys trying to make a move ahead. But this is shaping up to be a pretty good battle here between Hernandez and Knoll. These two have been in close quarters here for the majority of the evening, more often than not with at least one more car joining them, sometimes 2.
Some car behind them might have had an issue there. I can't tell who. I think it was Darcy Cudmore.
I was going to say, well, yeah, that looked about right. I was initially going to say Ouellette, but yeah, we see him in pit lane now, as we also see Dan Cudmore in pit lane.
7.73 pit stop time. So Dylan Baum is now going to retake the race lead, as Ty Higginbottom will do everything he can to catch up 2 seconds behind. So Daniel Cudmore will fall to a lap down with Andy Hurdle, but Darcy Ford notably going to keep himself on the lead lap in the 6th position, as Patrick Hernandez is going to get past Jose Mercado for the 3rd spot. Actually, yeah, Mercado getting a double beaten here by Hernandez and Kyle Knoll. Wow, aggressive racing there between the 50 and the 9.
Yeah, I wonder if Mercado maybe just had a loose moment to let both of those guys by.
Wow, my God!
Oh, yep, there's contact.
Mark Ouellette's going to go around. Caution!
Yeah, he kind of got tagged by, I think it was Knoll. And
no, I think Knoll was on the inside. I think that might have been Hernandez up high. But again, that's what the replay's for.
We'll take another look, yeah.
But tragedy here for Mark Ouellette. Again, looking at recent race results, Alabama finishes 16th, and then actually improved to 12th at Long Beach, so not bad. But this time around, might be 13th. Just 1 position lower, but still, based on the cars in this race, though, still not ideal. And I keep making that damn ticker mistake.
Again, pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
I just find it funny. Anyways.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see again what happened there. Yeah, Hernandez. So, yeah, you were right on that.
So, yeah, Ouellette lap car course, and then you see all these guys going at it, and I imagine they...
That's a tough one there.
That's going to need a little bit more analyzing.
Yeah, because...
Let me see here.
Yeah, you see Hernandez almost pinches Knoll there on that lower line. And
Dang it. Come on.
then he winds up going high, and unlike the case of Jason Butler where it was netcode, it looked like there was in fact contact that time around.
So I'm trying to see here if I can get a fair angle of some sort. Yeah, we'll yeah, there we go.
So yeah, you see Hernandez kind of coming a little low, and yeah, just comes up again. Hard to tell. Certainly, Ouellette got the worst of that. The poor guy, just kind of caught in the crossfire here. It seems.
I mean, yeah, Hernandez could have attempted maybe something in the middle there, but then you saw Kyle Knoll, his left side tires getting in the grass. So it's kind of as if Hernandez really had nowhere to go, and just, lap car in front of him, slow car, just probably not enough time to slow down. Again, these cars at these fast speeds, 230 plus miles per hour, so it just kind of couldn't really do anything about it there. Just very, very unfortunate circumstances as we have a caution here with under 30 laps to go here at Texas Motor Speedway, as it looks like multiple cars are going to come down pit road here. It'll be interesting to see with some of the lead lap cars especially, notably Kyle Knoll, Patrick Hernandez. Those are two. Those are some two there. Maybe try to get some fresher tires, maybe to get a bit of an advantage here on guys like Baum and Higginbottom and such. Again, and then there's Mercado again, who Jose Mercado's a guy who has shown the speed, but he seems like he just can't really hold himself together, and there's always someone or multiple drivers taking advantage of him. So this could be an opportunity right here for him to just kind of relax and just, figure things out.
Yeah, and I mean, kind of leveling the playing field here a little bit with, again, what's effectively going to be a 23-24 lap shootout here to the finish. It'll be very interesting to see how this all kind of unfolds here. I wonder if Knoll may have incurred significant additional damage. 37, 38, 39, 40 seconds. I wasn't expecting that.
That's interesting. So I imagine Hernandez might have been a case of trying to take advantage of the top guys, but Kyle Knoll, on the other hand, as you see the pace car and everyone else coming around through turns 3 and 4 in the background, Knoll's going to have to get out here quick, or he's going to go a lap down. And he's probably going to.
He's out there over a minute, yeah.
So we'll have to wait and see what happens there. But, Jordy, late race caution. I mean, we did kind of miss the restart there after the early crash, of course, at the start of the race, which obviously went cleaner. But, again, knowing what happened at the start, and just the fact that now this is going to be coming down to the wire. This is a late race restart, which I don't think any of us were expecting, although at the same time, it wasn't surprising either. Things could get very heated with some of these top guys, some of these top guns, because now they're going to be all put together. Again, Baum, Higginbottom, Mercado, Andy Hurdle notably back on the lead lap.
Again, former Texas winner. Sometimes, again, how many times have we said that this will be at least 2 tonight? To finish first you got to finish. We haven't really talked a whole lot about Andy Hurdle tonight because, again, he was a lap down for a majority of the evening. But suddenly, he's back in the equation here, and really, anyone like that top 6 who are on the lead lap, I'd say it's anybody's ball game here.
And again, if we look at some of these driver info tabs here so far, Dylan Baum's led 50 laps. Higginbottom's got 5. Magrum is 53. So a bunch of, not really anyone with absolute sheer dominance.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be very interesting to see what would have happened if Mangrum hadn't incurred that penalty where he would come into play. But let's see who comes out to play in the next 24 laps. There's the green flag. Riggs, you take it.
Looks to be mostly a clean start. There's a couple guys towards the back kind of spinning the tires or maybe having issues with the gears. But we are back underway with the Texas Dart 188. We are nearing 20 laps to go in this year's edition of this event. And Dylan Baum and Ty Higginbottom being put right back together as Jose Mercado, but a second or so back up behind. Andy Hurdle, Patrick Hernandez, and Darcy Ford will try to make something happen within these next couple laps here. C.D. Magram and Kyle Knoll, or never mind, Knoll's still on pit road. That is very unfortunate for him, knowing, again, kind of having a loose race. But still running up high, looking for maybe a top 5 position, maybe even having the speed for a podium if he was able to keep things together. But no, he's still stuck on pit road. And right now it's looking like one driver trying to go for his second career victory. There's another trying to also, actually technically it would be Higginbottom as well. Although Higginbottom has more of that Dart Series experience, again on consoles, so it depends on how you view all this, but would you look at this? Jose Mercado and Andy Hurdle are joining the battle. We're going to have a 4-car battle for the lead, as this time around we're going to be coming to 20 laps to go.
All right, yeah, this isn't going to get interesting at all here, is it, Reeks?
Absolutely not.
No, I would just stay here, and I mean, how many times have we seen these 4-car battles? I don't know if any of them have ended well.
Again, it's one, and the thing is too, I guess technically it's 2 rookies versus 2 veterans, or if we talk about Canadian Motorsports Network experience, Baum's, I guess, kind of quote-unquote a sophomore, and then Higginbottom, Mercado, and Hurdle are all veterans, so there's kind of different resumes along these 4 drivers, which is no doubt, it's what makes this battle very unique. And again, like, Baum and Higginbottom have been those guys up front. And again, I mentioned earlier, Jose Mercado has been that guy that just, he's got that speed, but it seems like he just can't really hang on. But I did mention during that caution period, it was a perfect opportunity for him to mentally calm down, figure things out, and maybe be able to find some miracle in that number 9 car. And then meanwhile, back here, Patrick Hernandez and Darcy Ford will be getting very close. That's a lap car that you see in between all of them. It's C.D. Magram. So battle for 5th right there. But yeah, we have to stay on these lead lap cars pretty much the rest of the way unless something happens towards the back.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, I think all your talk about experience before, iRacing's kind of the great equalizer here, isn't it? Like, again, the fact that Season 1 was on project cars and, significantly different physics, significantly different model from what we were running on the project cars / console side of things. And yeah, I think this is just going to be a straight up fight here.
I believe the 97 may have had a bit of a moment there coming through turns 3 and 4 the last time. But again, these 4 cars keeping themselves kind of in that train pack or whatever they may see to Super Speedway, if that's the best way to put it. That's the only real comparison that I can think of. But actually no, right now we're at 15 laps to go in the Texas Dart 188. Make your pick, 3, 97, 9, or 7.
Oh, jeez. I mean, it's always easier to kind of work from the front. And I mean, Dylan Baum with a win already this year. He obviously didn't really have to defend that much in that one once he did get the lead. But yeah, this trio isn't, like, they're not going to let him out of their sight. And I mean, Mercado, he's had, like, the first half of the race, we were talking about him being in no man's land effectively in 4th place. So he hasn't really had a whole lot to think about. But now in this moment, yeah, we'll see if he hangs on. I think I'm going to go with the 97.
Okay, very, very interesting to hear on that one.
Because, I mean, he's been in chase mode for a majority of the kind of second green flag session. And, he's found a way to push Dylan Baum here over the last little bit. And, he's a guy who's proven to be patient and been able to keep a cool head. And, I think that could serve him very well here as we're coming up on 10 laps to go.
Whoa, Mercado again very close behind the rear bumper of the 97. Still not able to find any ground, though, in terms of passing him. And Andy Hurdle just kind of, on the other hand, like, I kind of like the motto, knocking on the door. He's right there behind those three, and we all know he's got that speed, and he also, again, you got to pay attention to the fact that in front of him is Dylan Baum, second in points, just a few points behind him. Hurdle leading the way. He's looking up ahead, hell, let's just go to this right here. He's looking up ahead to the guy that may very well take the points lead heading into round 4 next Tuesday. He's going to want to try and be given a miracle in trying to keep the points lead somehow.
Yeah, and again, it's a very interesting trio that he finds himself behind here. Like, Baum's certainly no stranger to being aggressive. Mercado certainly no stranger to it as well. Higginbotham's kind of a bit of a hybrid of the two styles, not afraid to get his elbows out, but he's maybe a little bit more calculating in making that happen. Hurdle, yes, competitive. I'd also suggest that out of these 4, I'd suggest he's probably the most passive out of the group, but you know, in these kind of hairy situations, especially when you come up on lap traffic like this quartet is right now, you know, the stakes just get higher. You look for every bit of room you can find, really. And yeah, he could be a guy to find a spot here at the end. I don't know if it'll be quite enough, but you know, he's looking to lock down some solid points here.
This time around, 6 laps to go in the Texas Star 188. These laps are just winding down very quickly, so all 4 of these guys, or I would say at least the 3 behind Dylan Baum, are going to have to try and figure something out very, very quickly. Because, again, time's flying by. You got to make a quick decision here at some point, and it could risk you eliminating some of this race as they're getting real close. Jose Mercado especially. They're slowly trying to figure things out. That 97 is really there. So is the 9.
I don't know how Mercado and Higginbotham didn't make contact there as the two were kind of converging on that back straight. But here goes Higginbotham.
Here he comes. He's going to try the high side with 5 laps to go. Try to get a run. Again, that high side doesn't really have much of an advantage. It's more that inside. If Baum continues to cover it up, then he may very well be on his way to his 2nd career victory, but the 97 will be looking to try and find something. Oh, the 9 having trouble. Andy Hurdle to the 3rd position.
Yeah, and I was talking about Higginbotham earlier. How many laps has he been behind Dylan Baum here now? He's seen the lines that the 3 is taking. He's seen the strategies. He's seen the concepts that he's going for here.
Mercado is severely falling back after what just happened there.
Yeah, not quite sure what went down, as you say. He lost a couple of positions, but yeah, ultimately a 3-car race here now.
Baum, Higginbottom, and Hurdle going out for the win side by side through the front straightaway. 2 laps to go in the Texas Star 188. Oh, side by side now for the 2nd position. Andy Hurdle's going to try and jump both the 97 and the 3. He will, or well, he'll get halfway there so far. So Hurdle will try.
Yeah, he's, making moves here as we're coming up with the white flag.
Oh my gosh, white flag, final lap. Andy Hurdle will try to find something here against the 3, but the 97 will also try and gain some extra points in the 2nd position. Here they come, down the back straightaway. Oh my gosh, Hurdle, they're going to be almost 3 wide. No, Baum's still on. Higginbottom go for the 2nd position. He's going to go to the high side. And to the checkered flag. Baum's barely going to get it as he crashes hard past the start finish line, over the inside wall, into the catch fence, upside down.
Oh,
but
my God.
Even though that just happened, regardless, the Texas Star 188 of 2023 will go to Dylan Baum.
Well, we're not getting any donuts, but god damn, I want to see that finish again.
And Higginbottom's upside down as well.
Yeah, that's yikes.
So we are gonna catch a glimpse of that entire final lap here at Texas Motor Speedway. Again, the 3 up ahead, Hurdle trying to take advantage by jumping both guys, and then they went all the way down to the apron. A perfect run for Hurdle, then gets killed, and the 97 gets a huge run as I think the 3 might have had a loose moment, and then side by side down the front straightaway to the line. Bomb gets it, and then wow! Oh my gosh!
I think like another turn or two Higginbotham might have gotten there, but I mean, full credit to Dylan Baum having to absolutely defend his ass off there as we see the collateral damage here as a result. Whew. Man, oh man.
What more fitting ending could we have?
I mean, they're always bigger in Texas, right? Like, that's about as big as you can get, especially on that run to the start finish. And yeah, there's Higginbotham Bomb just mastering that inside line. And I mean, just no regard for physics there whatsoever. As yeah, there's Bomb getting the line and then promptly getting launched.
Indeed. So with all that being said, here are the unofficial results for the 2023 Texas Dart 188, round 3 of 13 for the 2023 Canadian Motorsports Network, Season 2 of Dart on iRacing. Dylan Baum, the number 3 Toyota, will go to Victory Lane, the SimlyPro.com Team 44 Racing Toyota for the second time this season. Ty Higginbottom's number 97 U.S. Air Force car will finish in... Yeah, it's actually... Yeah, Toyota's in the top 2, so not too shabby right there. But Higginbottom finishing second. Andy Hurdle rounding out the podium. So no doubt that Baum and Hurdle will continue to battle for the second annual Greg Moore Cup at the top of the driver's standings. And again, looking at the standings again, Ty Higginbottom, 12th in points, 43 points overall. There's no doubt that he's going to climb his way up the standings a ton, knowing how a bunch of other results played out. Patrick Hernandez, 4th place finish right there. And again, going off of recent results with him, Hernandez finished 12th in Alabama and then finished 13th at Long Beach, so very deserving right there. Lots of speed in tonight's event. Quite the resurgence after 2 okay races, I guess. Darcy Ford, the open wheel veteran within the network, rounds out the top 5. Jose Mercado continues his quietly successful run here through the season thus far through 3 rounds. 6th place right there, yet again another top 10. Daniel Cudmore in 7th, the first car, 1 lap down, again top 6th. Only cars on the lead lap. CD Magrum in 8th, 3 laps down. Darcy Cudmore with a top 10. Not bad for him, 12 laps down. And Mike Marini's going to round out the top 10. Jordy, you take it the rest of the way.
Yeah, a lot of names a few names I didn't really get to talk about because of reasons here, but we'll start with Hunter Young in the 77, finishing 11th, 21 laps down. Then you had Kyle Knoll, who, as we talked about, was in the running for a potential top 3, but ultimately got caught up in a couple of things there toward the end and finishes 12th, 26 laps down, part of course, that crash that triggered the late caution. Then you have Mark Ouellette, who completed roughly half race distance after lap 1 incident. He was able to take that and turn it into a 13th place and finish just to get the laps under his belt, essentially. Jason Butler, not so lucky, retirement on lap 40 to finish in 14th. Then you have a couple more early casualties in the form of Jonathan Swainson and Ivan Reynolds, whereas Charlie Sears, we talked about him sort of being a boom or bust to this point. Again, didn't make turn 1 in Alabama, dominates the field at Long Beach, doesn't see turn 1 here at Texas, and yeah, he's at the bottom of the field here, and yeah, looking to bounce back in a week's time.